Broadcast started, recording started. Should be coming live.
Get this big thing in front of me.
I have a rubber chicken, and I know what to do with it. Be very careful. Live from 14,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, it's Joel Comm live. Oh, we're not actually 14,000 feet, but I can see 14,000 feet.
I see it too.
We're at about 5,000.
This is a much better angle.
Joined by Dan Nickerson.
Hello, everyone.
You know Dan. And special guest today. Very, very special guest. People keep coming by our office. It's very cool. Especially when they're huge, major Mondo celebrities. Well, no, you can run it. We'll just mute me. There we go. Yes, new and improved graphics today, too. Our special guest today is a legend. A legend in his own mind. No, he is one of the very first employees that Google hired for the Google AdWords team. You know, AdWords, the advertising service responsible for bringing in over $14 billion in ad revenue for Google last year. And he was one of the originators of the AdWords optimization team. He left Google a couple years ago with their blessing. It's still an open door for him anytime he wants to go back in. And we're glad to have him with us today. Mr. Simon Leung.
Thanks for having me, guys. That sounds more like a boo actually, but alright.
Virtual applause. And thanks to Chris the Hand Harper. Chris, make your appearance. There he is. Chris the Hand Harper. We have cool new graphics. We're using Cam Twist on Tony Blake's recommendation. Thanks for that, Tony. And you can see down at the bottom we've got the streaming text. We've got the new Infomedia logo.
That'll work.
Logo. It's very cool. And of course, IM can stand for several things. It's internet marketing. It's infomedia. It's instant messaging. It's
keep on.
I saw a cow out there, and I was just going to say, I moo. Yeah, instant milk. Right. We actually have cows right outside the window. And it is a gorgeous, beautiful day here. Hey, Chris, would it come out if you turn the camera towards the, or was it too light out there? Go ahead and spin the camera that way towards the window, and you'll see the view that we have.
Chris just showed his hand.
Yep.
So we're all done for this week's episode.
And there it is. It is a, let's see, wow, it's bright out there. There it is. Beautiful day in northern Colorado. Go ahead and zoom in on the national park back there so you can see the back range over on the right. These snow-covered peaks. They are absolutely gorgeous. And we're inside today.
We should be doing the show outside.
We should be in the mountains. There they are. Look at that. Wow. Stunning. And Dan has just gone...
That guy just took a wipeout big time up there.
Dan has actually just gone out there, and he's going to be yodeling from the mountaintops.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So what if we tilt him? There he is. daninthemountains.com. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Enough silliness for that minute.
I'm still waking up.
All right, so the people are streaming into the show. Glad to have you with us today. Simon is able to chat as well, and
log in,
still logging in, but he'll be logged in just a minute. And we're going to take your questions. The sponsor for today's program. Wow, you just saw more of Chris than the hand. Proof that he's not just a disembodied hand. Sponsor for today's program, themonkeyknowsitall.com. Is the site even live?
It is live today.
Is it? What's on it?
He's just got a little, do we pull it up? You want to do a separate one? He's got a little info site.
Okay.
He's going to start doing tutorials on how to do programming and FTP and all kinds of stuff.
The Monkey Knows It All. The monkey will fly sometime during the show. And the monkey has really become a theme here around our offices. And whenever I travel now, I can't get his, there we go. Whenever I travel now, I make it a point to bring a monkey back.
That's a good point.
Simon, how do you feel about monkeys?
I like monkeys.
Here's
They're cool.
This guy just came back from California.
Hey, just like me.
See the resemblance?
same color skin too.
So, in fact, if you want to send us a monkey from wherever you're at, you got to have some sort of indicator of what city or state or special place it came from. Chris, go ahead and put the address up of our P.O. box.
We're not
there.
looking for live monkeys.
No live monkeys, because we don't want to have to feed them. But monkeys.
I was thinking of the cleanup. But
Why is it that we're attracted to monkeys?
you're the one that's attracted to monkeys, but they can be cute until they start ripping your arms off and throwing stuff at you.
Killer monkey. We like to monkey around here and have a good time. So, yes, Tico Ray, we'll take the stuffed monkey from Costa Rica, absolutely. If you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in. We're actually going to answer some today. And are you logged in now,
If you
Simon?
bold your questions, it really helps as well.
So I'm resetting it.
Okay, so far, I'm let down. You haven't told us anything.
You didn't ask.
Oh, okay.
You just kept talking,
This
dude.
is why I won't shut up.
That was easy.
All right, so let's jump in and tell us a little bit about how you got started with Google.
Sure. The year was 2002. The month.
We want to see you.
You can't see me? Oh, that's no good.
The camera's right there. Look into the camera.
The year was 2002,
Dun dun.
and the month was April. The day was the 30th. I was called in by the HR person at google.com saying, hey, we have a brand new position for you. It's completely new. We don't know whether or not it's going to be permanent, so we want to hire you as a temporary employee. What are you going to do?
So you went in like under, maybe I'll have a job, maybe I won't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was this is a story that I don't really tell very often, but it was a temp program, and it was very scary environment. It was like war in there. At least one person got let go every single day, and I was there for 3 months.
But there wasn't like bleeding or anything.
No,
or
but
limbs.
it was the very last day we called it Black Friday, just because we had probably 40 or 50 people left, and then that last day only a handful, like 5 people, were able to stick around. And
Wow.
so for a 3-month period, I was reviewing ads for Google, and basically it was a brand new AdWords program. They didn't know whether it was going to last. It was one of those things where they were saying, hey, we have some, it's a new industry, first of all. It's a completely brand new product. And then we had a competitor, at the time they were called Overture. And
Formerly GoTo.
Formerly GoTo, right. And what they did was, obviously, they had or claimed to have a patent infringement on the PPC system, and so there was a whole legal dispute thing. I mean, I don't know the exact details, but it was one of those things where they're wondering whether or not it's even going to remain part of the Google company, that system. And so it obviously went well, and during the first week that I worked there, it was probably one of the best examples that I've seen of an overnight success, because I went home literally with probably 100 or 200 ads in the bin, came in the next day with over 100,000 ads.
Oh.
And that was the day that they signed the AOL deal.
Wow.
And so it became overnight success, blew up, and obviously they needed more people. And finally, after 3 months, they were saying, hey, we have room for you.
Maybe stick around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Need somebody to go through
And
these
so-
boxes. Yeah.
And so, for the next year or so, is basically reviewing ads, continue to review ads, got to know the Google policies extremely well as a result, got promoted into various positions on the coordinator side, account management. It was funny because I answered emails, and I also answered phones before there was a real phone team, and then I also answered calls and service clients in the Chinese language before there was an international team. And my Mandarin is really bad.
How would you answer the phone to Google in Chinese?
Regularly.
No. I mean, what would you? How would you answer?
Well, in Mandarin, it's just ni hao.
Ni hao, Google.
Ni hao is how are you, kind of.
Okay.
Or hi type of thing.
I was hoping for.
I've got need before. It's not good.
No, it's no fun. But no, it was a really good experience. And then over the next year or so, what we realized as a company was, there were all these client advertisers spending thousands and thousands of dollars each and every single day with no real results. They didn't know, what was going on. They didn't know if they were getting their return on investment back. We didn't have any strategies to help them maximize their ROI. And so what happened was, me and one other guy, we started what is now known as the AdWords optimization team. And
What year was that?
That was 2003,
Okay.
early 2003. And basically I was responsible for developing and creating a lot of the strategies that are working today, as well as putting together the training that's being used internally to train the Google employees right now inside Google.
So, on the face of the earth, there's very few people that have the type of knowledge about how AdWords actually works.
Sure.
You and the chicken, you're it. And of course,
The monkey's pretty good too.
yeah, the monkey flies. Let's see. I think it's time. Here, prep that.
Prep the monkey.
Prep the monkey. Now let's see. Let's move yours over. Oh, drop that so you can, if you can get in and chat too. That would
Oh,
be.
great. Now I'm on.
That would be cool. So Simon, lived at the Googleplex for some number of years. Okay, here goes the monkey.
Who's ready to shoot the monkey? Who hasn't seen the monkey?
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
That was
The screaming monkey.
The screaming monkey does again. You're not gonna be able to log in, are you?
I am.
Well, there you go. You
I just
in?
got my password.
Okay, cool.
I just-
So Simon's on the chat room too. I want to know a little bit about what it's actually like working at Google. I'm sure everybody's interested in what takes place inside the mysterious, massive complex.
Okay.
So, what's a typical day like?
Well, it's different for every department and every different employee.
Okay,
In the
for you
AdWords,
then.
for me in the AdWords department, we started off really fun. It was kind of like out of college. We didn't really have established any type of corporate type environment yet at the time. So in the beginning, we were all going in t-shirts and shorts, and to this day, even a lot of engineers go to work really comfortably because that's just the way the culture works there. Over time, we became a lot more corporate because as the face of the advertising department of Google, we had a lot of clients coming in on a day-to-day basis. We had client presentations, and so we had to represent. It became
Right.
a lot more corporate.
People are wanting to spend a lot of money
Exactly,
with you.
exactly. And so, I mean, it's really funny because one of the first sales conferences that we had, this was probably 2003, that the AdWords department had, we were basically, every year there's a sales conference, and now there's it's kind of broken up a bit. Back in the day, it was the entire company. What we did was over a period of a weekend, we had a sales conference. Actually, it was during the week. We had a sales conference in San Francisco. And so as Google culture kind of emulates, everybody liked to have fun. And so during that particular week, that night, I don't know if you've been to San Francisco and understand like the district, and there's a place called Ruby Sky.
Okay.
One of our vice president basically rented out the entire club for the evening for all the Googlers and had basically open bar, like all tickets for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Very bad, right? We had a lot of fun, but you know what kind of trouble that can cause, right? And so we went back to the hotel.
Google and booze do not mix.
We went back to the hotel, and I guess a lot of people were still under the influence, still having fun. People were loud, and so we're at the lobby of the Hilton, and we're just kind of hanging out. On Monday, we come back to emails from advertisers basically saying, so those screaming drunks at the lobby of the Hilton, are those the people who run my AdWords account? So that obviously became a real big problem fast, but we basically became a lot more.
You said yes.
We became a lot more conservative. The partying and the whole social environment is still there. We just kind of made it more internal and just smaller, so that it doesn't cause that much of a problem. But it became a huge problem really fast, and so our director at the time gave us a really serious chat about persona,
Behave yourself.
perception, and public
So,
image.
are there slides?
Are there
In
slides?
Google, slides, like to go from one floor to the other. I heard that there's slides and, firemen's poles.
There aren't. No.
No? Because if you go look at one of the European offices,
Sure.
I don't know which one, but they've got all kinds
Crazy
of...
Europeans.
Yeah.
One of the cool things, though, I'll take you on the Googleplex whenever you are in the city.
I'm going to the Googleplex.
But back in the day, it was really funny because we were promised a pool, like a swimming pool for, 'cause they basically promised a lot of different things, and they delivered on a lot of things, like a big gym and like Jamba Juice and all you can eat and drink and stuff, and volleyball court, just a lot of really fun things. But a lot of people were really excited about the pool because they can swim and play synchronized swimming
Right.
or whatever, Hey, Googlers, they're
Let's
weird.
put in a pool.
But
You could try out for the synchronized team.
Hey, I used to swim.
yeah. Well, what really
I've been in a
happened?
pool.
What really happened was they ended up creating like a treadmill. It was like an endless pool, so only one person can do it at a time.
Oh.
And it was probably about this much in length. It wasn't big, and I think it was probably 5 feet at the very highest. You know,
Deepest.
in depth.
It's a little disappointing.
Yeah, and so one person can do it at a time. But the funny thing is, here's the really funny part. Lifeguard is mandatory to be on duty.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! For this little tiny thing.
So they need to be on duty if anybody wants to swim. So in case of an emergency, they can just basically go, stand up, sir.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe put in a hand and grab them out, right? Because there really is no swimming involved.
Wow.
Yeah,
Here's a new job, webcamlifeguard.com.
Yes.
For all the private pools out there, all you do is man the cameras all day long.
Stand up, sir.
We do have some AdWords questions and stuff too, actually.
All right, let's go ahead and
scroll back up. I
let's
think
hit a question.
Edward Moore, the first question up here. How do we get 5 and 10 cent AdWords?
5 and 10 cents AdWords.
The 5 and dime.
Well, it's not a 5 or a 10-minute answer. Because
can you give us a 60-second answer?
It is a process. Basically, I mean, if you understand about how Google works, all they really care about when it comes down to it is relevancy. So when you understand how it works in terms of the relevancy factors and what Google considers to be quality, it comes down to 3 things: your landing page, your keywords, and
your
ads. Your landing page, your keywords, and your ads. So
say it with me: landing page, keywords, ads.
Yes. So Mark Whitauer has a really good phrase, like continue the conversation, right? So basically the conversation starts on google.com when somebody is typing in their keyword. So that's your number one. You want to know exactly what it is that your product or service is. I mean, you need to understand your product or service, obviously, or if you're an affiliate of another product, you need to understand what that product is. So understand exactly if you are that market, if you're the audience, if you're the person who are looking for that particular product or service, what would you type in on google.com? So that's step number one. Once they click on this search button, you go to google.com and you see the ads. Well, the ads is the second part of the conversation. You need to make sure, for example, if you have MacBook Pro as your keyword, the conversation continues on the ad where you want to have MacBook Pro in the ad. You want to make sure that for that person it's relevant to them. Because if you have Dell, you know, or ThinkPad, that's not relevant to them.
Right.
That's not relevant to what the user is searching for. And so one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of advertisers make when they are writing their ads is they figure, okay, I only have 95 character space. What should I do? Should I just put as much information on there about what I'm selling as much as possible? So you'll see that for Amazon.com, for eBay.com, a lot of affiliates will put, you know, something like buy books, CDs, DVDs, ebooks, and anything you can think of here. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to focus on one product and one service. And so for the MacBook Pro, you want to put MacBook Pro in the ad. And so once you click on the ad, you want to take them directly to the MacBook Pro page. Don't take them directly to the Apple.com page because, you know, that's more distraction. That's more for people to look for. If they are in the buying mode, they already know exactly, you know, what they're looking for. They don't want to be sold on the MacBook, regular MacBook or the desktop.
They just want to buy it.
They just want the MacBook Pro. So take them directly to the page where that product is for sale. Ideally, you know, according to Google guidelines and just their best practices, the conversion page should be 1 to 2 clicks away. But what I've seen, just for conversion purposes, the landing page should have that product. So, you know, as ideally it can be like a shopping cart. You know, if they already have the mindset that they want to buy, they want to be able to just click on the buy button right then and there. So that is the third part of the conversation, which is the landing page. And ideally, the conversation ends when they're on your thank you page, where, you know, you're either saying thank you or you might have an upsell process or something like that.
Okay, so your question? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, so if I have an existing domain and I just put a fresh landing page on it that has content relevant to my ad, does the existing domain have any impact on the keywords, or just creating a separate landing page?
Right. The landing page itself is what counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into the quality score of your entire campaign. However, in terms of just maximizing your optimization strategies and maximizing your quality score, the landing page is where it matters.
So
I was going to say, so making the most relevant landing page is really the best thing you can do to lower your click-through rate.
Right, and your cost per click can start really high, but over time it can drop down significantly based on what Google sees as...
Especially, your history has a lot to do with your quality score.
So you can expect when you go in to pay more than you want want to,
Right.
but how long do you think it takes? You know, let's say I want to run a campaign $100 a day,
Sure.
and I'm fine tuning it, and let's say they start out and say it's a $5 minimum per click. How long to get it down to a price where I'm going, wow, this is a steal?
Well, first of all, if it says $5 minimum per click, it can go down a lot lower than that. It probably means that you've been penalized for whatever reason. It could be the quality on your page, it could be the quality on your optimization strategies or whatnot. However, you know, the more logical and the more reasonable amount where you would be starting out with, if it isn't the bare minimum, it's probably around $1 or $1.50, something like that. But if you do start off at $5, I would go in and optimize your ads. Maybe the account structure is actually another portion of the optimization strategies that we're not really going too deep into, because it's not really, you know, like an optimization strategy. You're optimizing your account structure, but when you're optimizing your ads and your keywords, it's kind of the account structure all in one. So you should break them out into different ad groups, different campaigns, whatever is relevant. And if you are in a position where you're paying, or Google's requesting $1.20, you know, or $1 for your minimum cost per click, that can go down for sure. It would probably take around 1,000 impressions before Google goes in again and re-evaluates your score. So every 1,000 impressions, depending on how you do, you know, if you have a high click-through rate, if you're getting a lot of clicks, if you're getting even conversions on your end, Google is able to track all that stuff. And so depending on how you do, you may potentially see some changes after, as soon as 1,000 impressions.
Nice.
Let's get some other questions here. We've got, is skimming your AdWords ads to only leave keywords that are performing over 10% in your campaigns still a viable strategy? Or is Google penalized for that now?
What was the question?
Is skimming your AdWords
Scroll
ads to only leave keywords that are performing over 10% in your campaign still a viable strategy?
Skimming your
Should you
AdWords
remove
ads.
AdWords that aren't performing over 10%?
Well, 10% in terms of what?
Must be click-through rate.
Well, 10% is a really high number
Yeah.
for a click-through rate, and Google really never expects anybody to get 10%. So your overall click-through rates is not going to be as impactful as your individual click-through rates on, you know, on a keyword basis. So it doesn't really matter if you're getting, you know, 0% click-through rate on one keyword, you're getting a 5% click-through rate on another keyword, you're getting a 0.25%. It doesn't really affect your overall score, it just affects that particular keyword. So I mean, if a keyword isn't performing for you, then you really, you know, you can do one of two things. You can delete it because it's wasting up your space or wasting up your time, you don't want to deal with it, or number two, just leave it there because, you know, you don't get charged unless you get a click anyway, so it doesn't really hurt you to get some potential traffic.
You know, I met Simon, what, about 2.5 years ago?
About 2 years ago.
You want to tell him how we met?
Sure. We're at JV Alert Live in Philadelphia. I was having, well, first of all, the first time I saw Joel was I was having a conversation with Ken MacArthur, who is the organizer and promoter.
The nicest guy in internet marketing.
Very cool. And we're just chatting at the bar.
Here's his book.
Oh,
we'll talk about this in a little bit.
And I was chatting with him, and I didn't even get to meet you. You walked up to Ken and said something, and then Ken said something along the lines of, "This is Simon Leung. He used to work for Google." We didn't even really talk. He just kind of waved. But then the next day, I think it was around the afternoon or something, I was on the way into the restroom, and you were on your way out.
Yes.
And
it was a restroom encounter, but
yes.
I washed my hands before I shook yours,
wasn't
so
paying attention.
you need to know that.
certainly
I'm a
wasn't.
washer. Those of you who are not washers, I know who you are. I see you leave the men's restroom without washing your hands, and I think, gross. Wash your hands.
Seinfeld moment.
cannot
Jerry, I
agree
make
more.
you a grade. Okay, Bobby.
But anyway, so we're in the bathroom, and you're like, "You used to work for Google, right?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess."
I guess.
And you're like,
I don't know.
"You and I are going to sit down and have a conversation." And I was like, "Yeah, but not here, right?" We'll talk outside.
Come into my office.
So that's how we met officially in the restroom, JV Alert. That was in June of 2006. I was still working at Google at the time.
That's right. You were not
you're
free
like,
yet.
So you're like, you work at Google, right? Well, not you used to work. And so, you know, it's funny, and I told you this last night, yesterday, and 1 year later, I was back at JV Alert. I went back to the same restroom, and then I remember I either text you or emailed you.
And he had this moment, this sentimental moment.
I was thinking, I wish Joel Comm was here.
JVRestroomSecrets.com.
So I text you or something, and I say, hey, just want to let you know that I'm in the same bathroom that I met you at 1 year ago, and I saw it, you were at, and I was thinking of you.
That was easy.
That was
man.
yeah, and it felt like at the time that I had known you forever, and I think in a couple of weeks it's gonna be 1 year after that.
Wow.
JV Alert Philadelphia.
Wow. Very touching.
And now you guys are still streaming.
Oh. Oh.
So a lot of people asking questions about blogs and versus landing pages.
Hold on to the questions. This is more important, okay? Because Simon actually spent the night in the guest room at the
Magnificent guest room
in Pooterville, my house. We
I thought it
enjoyed.
was Poudre, but I guess
Well, in French it would be, but they pronounce it Pooter here. It's French for powder.
I'm sure it's not Poudre in French either.
Poudre.
Yeah.
Wait. So it's powder, right? Because they used to bury. There's a canyon where the settlers out here, they would bury their gunpowder stash to keep it safe.
Cash Laputer.
Cache Laputer Canyon. That's Chris the Hand, our producer, who's doing a wonderful
And when
job
you have
today.
a moment, if you can snap a picture. Thank
Yeah,
you.
let's get a photo. Photo up. All right.
Well, one
Live on-
pose and one
Live on the
action,
show.
Yeah.
So we've got some cool stuff here I want to talk about. And last night, Simon got to enjoy a movie in the Pooterville Comniplex. Yeah, I didn't tell you it was called that.
Is that-
the Comniplex. Get it?
That was easy.
And we watched Unbreakable.
This is getting abused.
What did you think about Unbreakable?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. It started off really intense with the whole accident thing, the train accident, and then it got a little bit weird. But I guess that's what you've got.
M. Night. M. Night's
Yeah.
does weird
Is the new one
stuff.
coming out?
And Chris, ready the video from YouTube.
Oh no.
We had the boys from Miami,
Oh, no. Forget.
the graphic Mavericks, Robert and Danny were over as well, and we got Rock
Where are
Band
they
out.
anyway?
I don't know. They're on somewhere.
They're online.
And we got Rock Band out, and Simon had his debut as John Bon Jovi.
Oh, that
Can we
was
roll
not,
that?
that was not a debut, my friend.
We're gonna lose your audio for just a second.
Okay, go ahead, play it.
We gotta switch audios.
Robin Small, be here.
So, are we back?
Can I report abuse?
So Simon rocks, and eventually we got it to work with the other. And we didn't get any video of me singing, but did I do okay? Did I do okay?
No,
No?
I was better.
Was I sucky?
We should have done a duet though.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Yeah. Now that would have been romantic.
Next time. And I don't know if you guys caught the 103-inch screen there in the Comniplex.
How big was it?
Rob said I was way better.
Dude, he's
Way
working with-
better. You are being
You probably paid him.
you are being dissed. So okay, let's take another question. What do we got?
Uh-huh.
Well, one question was about blogs versus landing pages. A lot of people want to use AdWords to drive traffic to their blogs.
Sure.
Are they better off sending it to a sales page, landing page, and then direct people to their blog?
It really does depend on what your overall goal is. Obviously, pay-per-click is a really great way to drive traffic to any website, including a blog. A lot of people think, just depending on how your blog is set up, would it be worth it to send paid traffic to something like a blog where you can use a lot of different other strategies that can probably get you similar amounts of traffic. But pay-per-click is definitely another way. If you have a legitimate sales process in there, why not? If you have a lot of different links, or if you want to get your branding out, if that's your goal, to get more people to know who you are, then Absolutely.
Right.
You know?
Once again, if your blog content is more relevant to the ads, can be better for
Yep.
you, and
right,
so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're
If you blog about everything under the sun, and then all of a sudden you want to do an AdWords campaign for some new product,
for sure,
you're better
you
off
have
doing
a market.
you're better off doing a landing page instead
I
of
mean,
a blog.
for us, if we have internet marketing related keywords, you can drive internet market to our blog, which is on internet marketing related subjects and topics, and there's a way for them to get on our list. There's a way for them to take a look at all the different offers that we might have, our sites and our affiliate promotions. They're all on there. So I mean, it could be worth it for internet marketers.
These people love you. They want you to sing some more. I saw this. High Maintenance said that Joel's 1% CD was fabulous. The 1% DVD was sent out to everybody who subscribes to the top 1% report. This is our incredible newsletter. You saw it last night. What did you think of the report?
I thought it was really cool. Really professionally done. I thought.
Have you seen anything done on that scale before?
Not from entrepreneurs.
Go to top1percentreport.com and you can get your first edition with the DVD for a penny. And once you love it, which you will, it's just $29.95 a month, and you keep getting it. So I recommend that you do that.
Do you get a piece of it?
Yeah, plus, there's more bonuses.
There will be
too.
an affiliate program. Yeah,
Okay.
where you can get recurring. So, Dan and I just got back from Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
Get ready to cue some photos there, Chris.
Crazy conference.
2 conferences, actually. On last Friday, I spoke at Mark Victor Hansen's Mega Business Empire. You know Mark?
Mark Victor Hansen.
Yeah, he's a Chicken Soup for the Soul.
I know who he is.
They have their brand, him and Jack Canfield's Chicken Soup for the Soul, has sold over 120 million copies of books. This guy was super nice. Chris, go ahead and give us a picture that we've got of Mark Victor Hansen, and just a tremendous human being. Really, really nice.
Very tall.
He's very tall. He's the only promoter that I've ever seen that actually stays in the room
the whole time.
All the speakers. He really cares, and he's a good guy. Encountered some other people there as well. Just go ahead and go through some of the photos of people that we met.
Bill.
I love that picture.
Bill Bartman. Bill has been a billionaire. He was on the cover, I think, of Inc., the billionaire nobody knows. And
Fortune, I think
he just kind of threw his arms around me. He's just a big old hugger of a guy, and I really didn't get to spend much time with him. So, Bill, if you're out there, we need to hook up and talk and find out if there's ways we can work together. What else we got going on?
Isabella.
Why don't you tell this story? This was at Harv Ecker's Never Work Again.
Can anybody recognize who this actress is? She's an actress. She's been on a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies.
Is she
Isabella Hoffman is her name.
Isabel what?
Isabella Hoffman. I think she was on CSI Miami for an episode. She was on a regular on a popular comedy back in the early 90s. Anyhow, she purchased our course. We talked to her for quite a while.
Dan recognized her from the show Dear John with Judd Hirsch, and I guess she was on Homicide.
She's on Homicide, and she's been in a ton of movies, and she's actually married to Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, former alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, you're a star. Take a picture of me." Okay. So what else we got there, Chris? Pat Mesiti. Pat is big time motivational speaker from Australia, from down under. Apparently he's got his own radio show there and is just known throughout the whole continent. And he was at Mark Victor Hansen's to speak.
Great speaker.
Great speaker, very entertaining. Big heart, really nice guy, and he's invited me to speak at his workshops in Australia in August, and we're still working out the details of that. Any more photos there?
Just to the stage. Well, we have the after photo.
Oh, this was after my presentation before 1,000 people. Dan took that one. I was chilling. You know, when you're speaking,
all of them.
You know what it's like when you're speaking, right? You get that rush before you go up there, and you're kind of nervous. And Simon's doing speaking now too. I mean, you're.
Yeah, man. I'm scheduled. I'm booked every single weekend through the end of the summer.
If you get a chance to see Simon live talking about the stuff that he knows, what are some of the places you're going to be showing up?
Well, I'm going to be actually JV Alert pretty soon. I'm
Go back to video
I have my own workshop in June. Lynn Pierce is having an event.
Okay, where's your workshop and how do people get tickets for that?
Sure. Well, more information can be found at AdWordsWorkshop.com. That is going to be June 13th, 14th, 15th.
Where?
In San Jose, California.
Okay, so there's still time, June 13th, 14th, 15th, AdWordsWorkshop.com.
No dash.
And is it just you or are there other
No,
people?
there's gonna be other people. Robin Small are gonna be there. Ben Mack, who just twittered about my romantic comments. He is also gonna be there. Lee and Robin Collins are gonna be there. Eric Farewell confirmed. Harris Feldman, I just talked to him a couple days ago. He wants to go with Sam Hire as well. I was at his house
Nice.
in Scottsdale, Arizona. Over 100 degrees, but it was worth it. It was incredible.
We have more temperate climate for you here.
Yeah.
And how much is it for somebody that wants to attend the workshop?
Well, I mean, the sticker price is $49.97 because what I've included before that is my whole AdWords Insider training, where it's the exact same system that I developed for Google employees, and it's a 12 module for them or for somebody on their team.
Well worth every penny. I mean, $5,000 to be able to learn from
Right.
the guy who was there who actually developed the program with them.
And so, I mean, that's part of the package. And then the workshop is going to be all interactive. It's going to be 3 days of hot seats and me and you just kind of working on the different things. But the sticker price is $49.97 for the folks on this call. I mean, we can probably strike up a deal on that.
Nice, you want to say?
Or just stream.
They are saying says closed on the website. Is that what?
Yeah,
It's currently closed
it's
for
currently
new.
closed.
Yeah.
We've sold out.
Sold out.
For it because we want to keep it small.
Do we have room for any of these people?
Yeah, I think we can probably get it to work.
How can they contact you if they want to?
The best way to contact me would be through my customer support email, customer.support@Simon.
You wanna take that now?
He'll go ahead and, all right. You're actually in the window with Rob there.
Dude, I got a personal.
Chris, you gonna get that?
No, he's got it here.
Okay.
We're good. So contact Simon if you want to go to this workshop. You want to just go ahead and tell them what kind of deal they can get, or is that like private?
I don't know. I think I probably want to talk to you about it and discuss what. Do
Okay.
you have any suggestions?
I say whatever you want to do. It's worth the full $5,000, and if you want to give people a discount, then that's just that's bonus on top.
I mean,
of it.
I'm thinking a 50% discount.
Serious?
Yeah.
Well,
Sign up.
pays to watch the show.
Send Simon an email for $2,500 to get this workshop and all the materials and a commercial. Go do it.
Well, I know Ben Mack is watching, obviously, because he twittered. So I say just to come watch Ben Mack.
Oh, yeah.
Magic.
Put this back up here.
Show.
Magic Ben Mack. Hey
And all
Ben.
the-
And hi Tracy. Hey Jason Moe. Hey Donna. Who else?
he's on stage.
Rob Small. Greeting. All right. Let's
We need to do sponsorship.
sponsored. Oh right. This episode
It's on
of
there too, Randy.
Joel Comm Live brought to you by themonkeyknowsitall.com. Themonkeyyhitthewall.com.
Yeah, themonkeyyhitthewall.com.
And if you would like to be the sponsor of next week's program, you can go ahead and double click. You Joel Comm 1.
Yes.
Our producer Chris is username JoelComm-1. Double click there. Place your bid. The bid starts at $100 and increments of $10. And Chris will keep us posted on where the bid is at. So your link could be here.
Excellent.
Talk really briefly about what the experience was like at Harv Eckers. Never Work Again.
Well, Harv Eckers, I mean, they basically have a number of different conferences. They're like feeder conferences that bring all these people into the show. So all these people are just ready, willing to learn, and they want to participate, and they love the speakers. And literally, you get up there on stage, and these people go nuts. They applaud for...
Let's take a
endless
look.
minutes, you know? It's just crazy.
The video that I told you that you went go ahead and forward into a little bit, Chris, if you can ready that. Dan was standing on the sidelines. I tell you, I've never seen anything like this. 4 days of this conference. Dan was standing on the sidelines, and he had the flip video going. And I have a video that I play at the beginning, and they were just coming to the end of the video, and they're getting ready to introduce me. Let's go ahead and...
And they go from 9 in the morning till like 11 o'clock
Oh, yeah.
at night.
4 days.
4 days in a row.
Go ahead and roll that. it's like you're a rock star, you know, for the time you're up there. And
You're a rock star in Joel Comm's basement.
that's true.
That's all you gotta do is
You're a
just
rock star, dude.
Yes,
You're
I
it,
am.
man. So for Dan filmed from the side, so he had my flip video. So during the presentation, I called Dan up so I could have the flip, and he stood up there, and I just raised his hand up, and I said, "Dan Nickerson." They were like all on their feet. They're going crazy for Dan.
Reminded me of the 80s, actually.
They thought he was Rick Astley. I got
That's right.
Rickrolled. So I used the flip video, and from the stage, this is what it looked like. Go ahead and roll that.
And it is recording.
These people are awesome. It was a trip, and
Oh, yeah.
it was a good presentation.
It was excellent, yeah. People loved it.
People kept coming up, and they just didn't stop coming and telling me how much they enjoyed it, and that they're inspired, and you know that's what it's all about, right? I'm gonna make a difference in people's lives.
Absolutely.
So let's take another question for Simon of Leung. What?
What?
Do we have a question there for Simon?
I don't see any recent ones here. How much?
So those who are just joining us, this is Simon Leung, Google AdWords expert. And when I say that, I don't say it lightly because he was with Google for several years and was one of the key team members on the AdWords optimization team. Let's go ahead and
I want to
take.
hear my book, though.
Oh, your book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how they found out. But
I don't know. Simon's actually writing a book
yes, and it's going to be published by you.
on Made Easy Publishing, and the name of the book is
Google AdWords Made Easy.
The Definitive Guide.
How long did that take to go?
That was easy.
Do we send everybody a button?
Hey, Harris
With
actually
it?
did.
You know what's great about that? Game. You got game. Google AdWords Made easy.
And I called it game.
I like that.
Game.
Yeah.
You're
Nice.
You're quick. Hey, let's do the.
We do have the top 10 list.
We have the top 10 list, and I think we're
boy.
going to let Simon go ahead and read them. If we
can't
can.
read.
Oh, you can't see from there. Okay.
Well, I got the paper too.
Let's have the printout then.
But Chris, you gonna put them up there or not?
Yep.
Okay, so our top 10 list, written by our official writers,
Yeah.
Dan Nickerson. This is the top 10 worst Google AdWords
15 minutes for the show this time.
headlines. And Simon, go ahead and.
We should have like big sign or something.
Oh, he's gonna throw them on
He's
the.
gonna
Oh,
put them
gotcha.
up.
Cool,
Yeah.
okay.
So number 10.
Number
go ahead.
10. Testing headline.
What's funny is if you type the word test in, you'll see all kinds of people that have test, and they don't realize their AdWords
funny.
campaigns are actually live.
Yes.
Right.
Here's the sad part. Something that a lot of people don't know is sometimes those are actually created by AdWords employees.
Really?
To
Yes.
test.
Because back in the day, what we did was we had a lot of different Excel spreadsheets that we used to upload into an account, and then sometimes that bulk uploader won't work, which means you need to create the account physically within the campaign before you can create a new account. And so what they were encouraged to do was, just have, test, and test.com. And then a lot of people don't put it as paused or deleted, they just let it run. And that actually happened several times.
So, okay. So the worst AdWords headline, unless you're a
Googly.
Googly employee, testing headline. Number 9.
9.
Click here, you idiot!
I love that he laughs at his own jokes.
There you go.
The number 8 worst AdWords headline.
We'll type for food. That's funny because when I left Google, my very last day when I sent my goodbye email, the title I think was like, "We'll optimize for food."
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
invite
like
me back.
it.
I know hundreds of you.
By the way, there is no research that went into this list. This is just, jokes.
Okay, number 7 worst AdWords headline is.
Be my first sale, please.
Can you can ask a question?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
in the
right.
headline?
In headline, sure. So has anybody ever seen one like that? Be my first sale.
No.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of different things, but that wasn't one of them. Actually, this isn't really a headline, but one of the more interesting AdWords ads that I've seen was for skydiving, and it was for some location. I don't remember what the headline was, but in the description it was like, only 3 deaths so far this year.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Okay, we're on a roll.
Number
or
6.
We're on something. Number 6.
Do the needful.
Do the needful.
If you ever have, corresponded with, there's a lot of, Indians that like to use the expression "do the needful," and so it's just kind of a funny thing around the office. We get that a lot. Please do the needful.
Please to do the needful. Okay, number 5.
Don't click. Type my URL.
Which would actually...
I get it now.
Yeah.
They say you'll save a fortune if you do that.
Number 4, worst AdWords headline.
Biggest MLM ever.
Now, can you in case of MLM, can you do all caps?
Oh yeah, for
because
acronyms.
it is an
it's fine.
acronym. But if you try to, like, if you put best in all caps, what happens?
Well, you can't even use best because it's a superlative, which is one of the
Kicks it out.
right, like number
yeah.
one and top.
So what if you had
largest.
best MLM ever?
No.
It would kick it back.
Yes.
Any word, in fact, that's all caps,
Yep.
you can't do it.
That was the policy
Who
from
would
day
have
one.
thought this would be an educational tool right here?
It is. We're learning. And the number 3 worst AdWords headline.
MSN publisher rocks. Rocks.
Okay. The number 2 worst AdWords headline. Simon, take it. You can do it. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Number 2. You want me to read it?
You read it.
All right. All right, maybe it's not that funny.
I've already seen it.
Number 2, Rosie O'Donnell picks. No click-through. And the number 1 worst AdWord headline ever.
Joel loves his monkey.
Yes. Where's the little band music
found
that
that out
comes
last
in
night.
after the number 1?
Ow.
That's kind of like anticlimactic.
Jason Moffat
okay?
says he used to have a crush on Rosie O'Donnell.
Jason, why would you admit that publicly? Okay, so here, shock the monkey.
What's a GoDaddy?
What is our bid at for next week's sponsorship?
123.
The bid is at 123. Somebody can't do math. I said increments
Straight to 123.
of $10. Next bid should be $150. Ping Chris if you would like to own the sponsorship. This week's sponsor, themonkeyknowsitall.com. Let's give away a prize. While we were at Mark Victor Hansen's event, I swiped this T-shirt.
What's on here?
Here it is, Mark Victor Hansen, Mega Events, and the back says Event Staff. Actually, I told him I wanted some swag, and he said, take whatever you want. So I didn't really swipe it. But this is a Mark Victor Hansen Mega Event T-shirt. It is an extra large, and let's see, Simon, how are we going to give this away?
Throw it.
That you think they're going to catch it out there? Okay, catch.
Pretty good.
Ooh. Did you get that?
Camera moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so guess. First person to type in Simon's age. Go.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
That's not something
I don't
I
even know.
wanna admit.
I don't know how old you are. So
I don't know how old I am either.
you're 52, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell me if.
8, 9.
Wait, you're not seeing.
Oh.
These are going
they're
fast.
typing like crazy.
I can't believe how fast these people can type.
Well,
Okay, so back up and
oh,
see
it
who the
looks
first
like,
one.
I think Carmen.
Yeah.
Wait, back up. You have to scroll up to see
Carmen's
who the
going
first
through
one
them all.
was.
Who's the first one?
Boy, they really want that purple T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Tracy.
So you're 28.
I am.
Tracy Repchuk, you will be receiving the T-shirt that is undoubtedly too large for
Yay,
you.
Tracy.
Woo!
I saw Tracy a few days ago.
If you will send your mailing address to Joel Comm -1, then Chris, the producer, will take a
33.
note of that. And
Carmen went through the whole list.
yeah, okay, we've got a winner. Stop guessing. Way to go. It's done. We're over. Okay, so I've got a few books on the table really quickly.
Okay.
This is Ken MacArthur's new book,
Awesome name.
Impact. How to Get Noticed, Motivate Millions, and Make a Difference in a Noisy World. I want you to talk about Ken for a second.
Sure. Ken, I first met him on a cruise in June of 2006, and I knew him as the JV Alert guy. And basically, I didn't even know he had put on live events, but apparently he he has a really successful event called JV Alert Live, and that's where I met you, just actually a couple weeks after the cruise, and then I got to speak at his event, the very next one in San Diego, and basically he's out there as one of the biggest seminar promoters and mentors. He was the mentor of my very good friend Sterling Valentine, who Sterling, and basically mentored him through a series of events where basically within a 90-day period he was able to generate 6 figures.
Right. Took somebody who was
a complete newbie, no website, no lists, no JV partners, no nothing, and went from 0 to 100,000 in 90 days.
We love you, Ken. You're awesome, and good luck with your new book. I want you to know I actually went to Amazon and purchased this to support you. And that's because in the recommended reading list, what do we got here?
The AdSense code.
The AdSense code. Thanks. Appreciate that. And also from, this was from Mark Victor Hansen at his event, one of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. This is for the entrepreneur's soul, and I believe that
It's like the third one. Oh, there you go.
this is autographed, and you can't read this. Mark's writing is intelligible. Can you read that?
Joel.
Yeah.
Once again with the purple theme.
That looks like a
Purple ink.
2.
Actually, I think it
Oh,
says
it is a 2.
multiplied prosperity to you. Oh, look at that.
It
I
is a
deciphered it.
I think it says multiple personalities.
They say I'm a multiple personality. No, I don't. Yes, you are. The bid, where are we at?
150.
The bid is at 150.
And we have 150 people in the room?
And we have, no, there's
in the
195 in the room. If you would like the sponsorship for next week, the bid has just gone to $200. Let Chris know. The monkeyknowsitall.com, our sponsor this week. Let's take another question for Simon.
If you can find them.
There we go.
Apparently the bid is now 223.
Okay, 223. Keep them coming.
Interesting amount. Simon, I heard how you built the huge list by paying only 6 cents a click. Can you give some insight on that, such as how you choose your keywords? So you answered the 6 cent, but how do you choose your keywords?
Yeah, so your keywords is going to be a combination of using Google's tools, and I always recommend using Google's tools as opposed to all the other ones that are out there. Some are free, some are paid, and I recommend Google's tools because I'm a little biased. I helped develop a lot of the tools as well and give a lot of input and feedback. I didn't actually program them, but I gave a lot of feedback on them. So I recommend using Google's tools and taking a look at, first of all, using your own common sense is probably better than any tool, but first you start with the common sense. What is the most relevant to that particular product or service? For my particular situation, it was one of the lists I was building was for internet marketing for ebooks, and so I used keywords like download ebooks or internet marketing ebooks or business ebooks, business products, software, things like that, and then throw it into a keyword tool and see what kind of other relevant terms come up with it, and then basically it's the process of building out your campaigns based on quality and based on relevancy. In the ads, again, it's the same process that we talked about in the ads for download free ebooks. You want to have download free ebooks in the ad title, maybe even have it again a second time in the ad, and then when you take them to the page, that's basically a place where they can immediately register to get what it is that you promised them in the ad.
Do I have a glazed over look on my face? A little bit. I mean, when we talk AdSense, no problem. We talk content creation, I can go on for hours. List building, no problem. Joint ventures, speaking, on and on. When people start talking to me about AdWords, I just kind of get this, like, I don't know.
And it's really funny because a lot of people get AdSense and AdWords mixed up.
And they're not the same thing.
No. Absolutely not.
Dan, why are you looking over his shoulder?
I don't know.
What's up, dude?
Yeah.
What?
Even when I'm on location, I still get Dan on a stick.
Dan on a shtick. Once.
We haven't seen the stick or the cartoon guy today.
Yeah, where's, what was his name? Fred? Friend.
I also want to say that for list building, if that is your intention, that is your goal, you definitely want to prepare for your audience and set the appropriate expectations. So in the ad, you want to say something like register or free registration or sign up or subscribe or something like that as your call to action.
The difference between AdSense and AdWords is they're two sides of the same Google ad coin. AdWords is the advertiser side where they're going to pay to have their ads show up, and AdSense is the publisher side where you get to put the ads on your site and Google shares the ad revenue from that click with you. And it's awesome.
It is awesome.
The duck thinks so. And if the duck likes it,
Obviously, it's a way that anyone can drive traffic to a site instantly.
anyone, if you want to learn about AdSense, go to my page at adsense-secrets.com. You can pick up the 4th edition of my best-selling ebook, which is now 232 pages, for $9.95.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that one.
You missed your cue, the one cue I need.
Quick story. Joel and I actually did a tele-seminar on AdSense arbitrage a while back, which is a tough thing to make money with, but give you an idea how quickly you can make money with AdWords. I was on Drudge Report one day, and they were talking about a new diet pill that had just come out. I said, that's interesting. I went and Googled it, and there was absolutely nothing. There was no results. There was no AdWords or anything. So I made a web page, and within about 20 minutes, I had a site up. About 20 minutes after that, I had an AdWords campaign up, and I put AdSense on it. And basically, because there was no competition at all, and I had a relevant domain, I was paying about 10 cents, 5 to 10 cents a click, and I was generating a lot of money in Google AdSense, because I basically was directing AdWords traffic to my AdSense page, and for about a week, I made about $1,000 that week. You know, just
Nice.
because no one else had ever heard that word, but everyone saw it in the Drudge Report, and they started typing it in, and I was able to get perfect ad placement. It doesn't happen very often, but
it does happen.
It does explain
Yeah. There is
easily what
money.
the difference between AdWords and AdSense. AdWords drives traffic, and AdSense you actually make money by showing the ads on your site.
Can you give any insight into, I mean, I know this is probably not because you're AdWords, but if somebody's had their AdSense account suspended, what would you recommend?
Nobody ever has that.
You know, this is a really bad secret that I probably shouldn't reveal, but
Here it comes.
just create a new account.
Well, I tell people that. That's not.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, but if it's under the same name, they sometimes will know that, and if it's the same address,
About tax ID number or anything like that.
Yeah.
it's like you have to start a new business with a different address.
I mean, yeah, there's probably different ways around it and certain loopholes you have to jump through, but a lot of times, you know, it really is as easy as it sounds, just create a new account.
Right.
Because, I mean, I had the contacts working directly with the manager of AdSense, and even they couldn't do anything about it. It's not something that they can really do, like reinstate.
There you go. There's the answer. Open up a new account. Where there's a will, there is a way. All right, we are coming up to the top of the hour, and we're going to pull the plug here pretty soon. Let's do, should we do a poll? What can the poll be? I like to do polls just because they're a cool feature. Moffat.
Simon, do you offer consulting?
I offer consulting at AdWordsConsultation.com.
All right, AdWords Consultation.
Consultation.com.
And also to learn more about Simon, SimonLeung.com, SimonLeung. Forever I called him Simon Leung because I didn't know any better. Those Asian names. Oh, speaking of Asian, you've got to go to Hulu.com when you get a chance and look up the Saturday Night Live parody of The Office done in Japanese. Steve Carell was the host last week. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
It is a riot. It's about 4 minutes long. And if you're a fan of The Office, go to Hulu and look up SNL Office Japanese, and you'll come up and see that, and it's a riot. The best part of it is the very last line with Ricky Gervais, who actually intros it and does the outro. Stay with it to the very end, because the last line is an absolute riot. What is the bid for our sponsorship?
$223.
Okay, who's going to be our sponsor for next week then? Whoever's got the bid of $223.
Mac.
Who?
Ben Mack.
Ben, are you sponsoring the show?
Wow.
Great. Ben, you've got the sponsorship for next week. Hey, Tom Beal, heard that you hung out with my president, not George Bush, Ken Burge, president of my company, and you guys went to the Rangers game and everything. I'm glad you guys hooked up. That's awesome. So, Ben Mack, you have the sponsorship for next week. You can PayPal. Chris will give you the information about where to send that, and we will feature you. This week's sponsor of Joel Comm Live, themonkeyknowsitall.com.
We'll pull up Ben's book, too. You got Ben's book?
Oh, yeah, I've got your book, Ben. We'll talk about that next week. And, of course, joined by Dan Nickerson and special guest Simon Leung, AdWords expert and all-around nice guy. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. There can be more than one nice guy.
All right, I guess so.
You are. I mean, I've never heard anybody say, that's Simon Leung. You know, he's such a... Everybody likes you.
All right.
They do.
You know,
Or is there something we should know?
I don't know.
You're not like an assassin in another life or something, are you?
I might have a secret identity.
That could be. Never mind.
So here's what I want from you guys. I would like for you to spread the word, okay? Tell others about Joel Comm Live. We will be here again next week, and then I'm doing a bunch of traveling. I'm going to Australia, and I don't know if I'm going to broadcast the show live from down under or not. Maybe take Dan on a stick with me. We'll turn it on and just leave you.
It's gonna have more miles than I do
for the whole time. If you'll go down below and rate the show 5 stars, that would be most awesome. Leave your comments and feedback about what you like, what you'd like to see more of. Moresimon.com. Send your monkeys to the address if you want them to be featured. And what?
Sendyourmonkeys.com.
Sendyourmonkeys.com.
Do you really have that?
No, but somebody will
register it now.
Somebody will. Joel needs your monkeys.
Somebody registered DanOnAStick.com.
You can't throw out domain names on the air unless
we do it all the time. We have such an abundance of ideas that abundanceofideas.com.
Okay, well, as long as they're not ones that you really want, otherwise someone's gonna get them sell to you for like $10,000.
Chris, roll the theme music. All right, until next time, guys. We'll see you. Take care. We're out.